Hello, everyone. It's the Oracle of Elohim, and the time is 12:04. So it's March 9th, 2025. 12:04 a.m. should I say? I don't know. I got woken up out of my sleep, so I'm up, and it was just, a thought on my mind about life situations. And sorry you can't see me, but in a way, I mean, I don't know if you can see me. I'm moving my head, but it is dark where I am. And in some ways, it is for my protection at this time, because of circumstances surrounding my life. But like I say, I have another channel, Empress I Am, and you can check that out at some point, I guess. But I do welcome you to my channel here, the Oracle of Elohim, where I will dive into just life itself, life that some of us have experienced, some of us may have it on our mind, or if you ever encounter it, maybe you can counter it and not actually go through it. That's my hope for anyone that visits my channel or any other channel. If someone is speaking some type of truth, or letting you know about certain situations that has happened before that you were unaware of, because like myself, in my 50s, as I said in previous videos, I was unaware that my family dynamic that I grew up in really were my biggest haters. So, I just encourage anyone who, is experiencing any type of setbacks or delays, or just always running into walls, to carefully assess the people in your life, because in my case, it initially started with family, but then family started incorporating my classmates, any type of relationship that I had, because they were eavesdropping, cloning my cell phone that we all use. Isn't that something to, have your cell phone cloned? And see, I was unaware of that until I became aware that this family hated me so much. And so I say that to say this: what you don't know, or what you do not pay attention to, can and will hurt you in the long run. It could be devastating. Although I am a very intuitive person, typically in this particular family knew that. typically speak up where there's an injustice or it just feels like it's imbalance or there's another way to approach it where it's not impeding on my best behalf or another's best interest. So that's who I am, and that's who I've always been. And I don't like the saying is don't judge a book by its cover. That's very important. It's just like a movie. Don't judge the movie by its title, because that movie might be something very engaging, something that could really get your mind to thinking, and it can have you expounding. Is it expounding upon something that is actually truly happening in your life? However, I've also learned some other things during this situation that I find myself currently in, that I am waiting for justice from the heavens and here in the court of law on this rim we call Earth. Now, in my situation, my apartments that I rented were all bugged, booby trapped. Unbeknownst to me, it was because of my family doing this to me and others, a copycat. Someone who wanted to swap destinies. I never heard of that. Never. I mean, that's crazy to me. But because I find it difficult just trying to be me, let alone trying to. I mean, are you acting? You should have became an actor instead of trying to literally destiny swap. I mean, it's literally like that movie Single White Female, where she moved in with the roommate and she wanted to take over her life. She slept with her guy friend, or did she? Did she sleep? I think she was trying to seduce him, but he denied her, so she ended up knocking him out. But anyway, it's just crazy. We have some sick people in the world, including some of our family members. So you have to pay attention to that. And due to what I have experienced, my voice, my truth is very controversial to some, because the some that I'm speaking of may be some people that you would be like, what? They inserted themselves in such foolishness, debauchery. Yeah. So anyway, by no means I don't like I don't really like controversy, but unfortunately, here I am. I find myself in it, so I can't help but speak my truth, and my truth is going to push some buttons, unfortunately, and it is what it is, because I am the oracle of Elohim, and that's just point blank period. I cannot regress from that, being who I am, because the some of you that I speak of are the ones that put me in this position to tell my truth. And I know that some of my ancestors and anybody that has deceased because of a injustice, because of an injustice, I include them when I say my ancestors, because they lost their life by trying to save their life from being from someone intrusively making them a prey, and the individuals being very predatorial, and in some instances, as we know, history, slaves. So, and by no means am I only talking about them. Like I just said, any injustice I have a great disdain for. Although I am a melanated woman, I'm not black, because as we know, the crayon, our coloring book in kindergarten, the crayons, the black, I don't look like that. So I don't relate to that word unless I'm talking about a crayon or a pen, a writing utensil. And then Afro-American, I never been to Africa, although I would love to go. I do believe my spirit has some ties to it, because it is basically melanated people there. And although a lot of them over there don't typically say, no, we're not related to the American African people. And that may be correct, or it may not be, who knows, because I wasn't here when, when the ancestors were enslaved. We know about it due to it being televised to us through movies. At least in my era, I know about it through that. I don't have a lot of my family members speaking on that too much, although they really should, because history is history, because they like to show us movies about Hitler, the Jewish Holocaust, but it seems like it's a great it's a problem unless they want to show us the movie Roots. Sometimes they play the movie Rosewood. But it seems like it's just a big problem when it comes to speaking on slaves, because some of the things that they had to endure was very horrendous. Very horrendous. And I have to speak on that now because of what I've gone through with the people that should have loved me. Perhaps maybe some of them caught some of the residue from their ancestors and their ancestors before that and their ancestors. So how their upbringing was held, or whatever they had to endure during their upbringing could have trickled down in that retrospect, not them actually being the slave of a slave owner, but their ancestors was. And so the sickness of the mind of what they had to endure could have trickled off in their parenting, in their decisions, in their vocabulary, in their dissecting of their words, which we call perception of a thing. Me personally, God created all spirits. All of us is here at the will of the Most High. So I don't have a problem with anyone unless you make yourself a problem. I do have a preference of to whom I choose to marry or make children with. And that is my preference, as we see still yet today, when we see cultures where you have Chinatown, Jewtown. Okay, so if I have my preference, that is my preference to procreate with that particular sector. Although I know in the workplace and, you know, encountering others at the store or at functions, you may meet a wide spectrum of people, and I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a cut-off point as to who I engage with intimately. And that's just my preference, period. And I don't have anything against any ethnicity, because we're all here because the Creator allowed us to be here. Now, I do love my melanated people, and I do not like the injustices that I do still see, considering my circumstance. However, I do, pray about it, because some things could be worse. However, I don't like my situation, and I want it to get better, and I want those who have the power and the authority to get their minds and hearts together and fix the issue at hand. Some people have reservations, discrepancies about the Bible. However, if you pick up that book and you read it, and you ask yourself about some of the stories of that Bible as you look at people of this world, in my opinion, there's no doubt that the melanated people are being spoken of in that book, period. So we as a people must get our mind and heart together, but especially the melanated people. It is very heartbreaking to know that my own family. So that's why I say God made all people. It wasn't a Caucasian man that betrayed me. It was these melanated people that I was raised with that betrayed me. And there's some instances in the past with the Moors, which are melanated people who enslaved people as well. So again, that's a sickness in the heart of a person, because out of the heart flows the issues of life. So life as someone perceives it, where they just want to be intrusive and say, okay, I want to take over you, your land, whatever. That's a sickness. I mean, come on. You come from a wound. Your family raises you, and then for someone to intrusively say, I'm going to take over your life, take what you have, that is a sickness. And as I know it, in the land of the living, there are laws against such criminality. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, back in enslavement, I think it was like, I don't know what kind of laws they had, but it wasn't to protect the melanated man or woman or their children. So we do have some laws in place now, and we still have some adversity that is still playing out. So I'm just, asking the judicial system to carefully look at my situation and make things right, if you have a heart to do so. Because just as my melanated ancestors and the ones that I may have been raised around have a sickness, if they have endured someone raising them from that era, the Caucasian people who were raised by those who did such things may also have issues of the heart and mind. If you thought or you think that was correct actions to treat another human being that stands upright like you, that bleeds like you, that eats food like you, that has a brain like you, that helped build America, which is great, at the hands of melanated people and Indians, so, which is also indigenous melanated people. I just find it very unbelievable for someone to continue to have such perpetual hate for another individual based on the color of their skin. And when I say I only deal with people intimately, that is my preference. And there is no law, not even in the Holy Bible. Well, it does speak of that in the Holy Bible. There were certain tribes that, so for instance, Samson and Delilah, he told, his father told him, no, come out from that woman. She is not a part of your tribe. So, there are some instances where God did speak on some things where he knew that that particular tribe was not good for that particular tribe. So there's no refuting that story. So it is what it is. Okay. So I lost my train of thought. But anyway, that is just my preference, but I respect all people who respect me. I mean, and that's just based upon the, reciprocate what you want back towards you. I mean, that's just point blank, period. And that's who I've been. And if I can't, receive respect from people, I just, totally just cut them off. But I do expect, EXPECT, for my judicial system to show a sense of respect in upholding the laws that are on their books towards these egregious acts that have occurred in my life. And in some instances, it still is occurring because I have not received my justice yet. And I don't want you to base it on the color of my skin. Base it on the fact that it is a law in your book, and you did not blatantly say, oh, well, because she's what you would say Afro-American or black, we're not going to give it to her. I don't see that written in your books unless you have it hidden from the regular public. Then that's also a problem. So let the regular public decide how we will give you the BOOT of your office or your seat, because all that prejudice crap in that instance is not acceptable in this day and time, or it should not be. So if we have anyone in Congress, political, anyone in politics who is making laws for us in your see the word races. This is what I agree with that word racism. Is someone who is in power, whether, I don't care what your ethnicity is, and you choose to do wrong towards another individual because you have that resource, you have that authority, you have that networking resources to inflict a certain outcome. That, in my opinion, is racism. When you oppress another because you have that authority to do so, not saying that it is right to do so, but you do it anyway. No, not good at all. Because again, what you do to another, would you like it done to you? That's what all of us should say to ourselves when you do something so heinous. And in saying that, some people think, well, I could do it and I'm going to get away with it. Well, you possibly could get away with it for some years or not. Life has taught me that what you do, it will catch back up with you. As we see in Scandal on the TV many years ago, someone said, oh, he touched me, he read blah blah blah. Okay, there's that judgment coming. So my thing is, when I look up and I'm praying to the Creator, I believe the sky is the eye of the Most High. That's why He is omnipresent, omnipotent, everywhere. Because no man has created that firmament up above our head. And really, you didn't create the earth. You helped cultivate it, but you didn't create it. So, we're going on 29 minutes and 36 seconds. But anyway, I enjoyed speaking with you all. It's just was something on my mind, and hopefully, no one is shadow banning this channel like they did my other channel, Empress I Am, or my TikTok channel, Empress Jennifer, and my other TikTok channel, or the Oracle 1212. So, we all have voices and we all have hearts. What you choose to do as an individual, your character is important. How you perceive a thing and how you treat others is very important. We all have our own homes or whatever we got going on, but at the end of the day, we still have to, in some retrospect, deal with one another on this earth. Whether you're riding in your car, walking down the sidewalk, going into a store, at some point we are dealing with one another. So, let's make the best of it. I would love to see, more entrepreneurship in the melanated people sector. And we would love for all people to patronize our businesses as we do yours. I believe that, that's what the late Dr. Martin Luther King truly wanted. I believe that's what all the ancestors really, truly wanted, is just for us to enjoy the land of the living, and we all have our own unique expertise, and some of us have learned from the slaves who built a lot of things, have invented a lot of things, but yet was shunned from being recognized for their expertise. That in itself is terrible. Why not recognize a man for what they have done, what they contributed to this earth, where the Creator said to procreate? Give them their accolades if they are the inventor, if they showed you a thing and you learned it. I mean, I just find that so incredibly crazy. Where back in the days there were doctors who recognized that the melanated man had a skill and could perform certain tasks in a medical setting, but when it came to surgery and people crying about their loved one, they want their loved one to, make it through the surgery or just live on through this sickness, but yet the person who could help, their skin was melanated and you didn't want them to touch you, which is so ludicrous to me. And some of those melanated doctors did not get recognized for their expertise until later on. And one in particular, I think his name was Vivian, which is odd. He was a male, and he was, a doctor that dealt with the heart, and said it was a true story. So, I watched that the other day, and it was very interesting. He did have a particular stature about himself. He didn't really tolerate someone talking to him any kind of way. But at the same token, he wanted to help others. And in helping others, it was like a slap in the face when it came to a particular surgery and the recognition of his contribution to that thing. I didn't finish watching it to the end, but I'm assuming that at some point they did recognize him for his expertise, and hopefully they did, because they end up making a documentary about his life. So, I just want to say, can all people, no matter what color your skin is, can we get recognized for the things that we have accomplished or help you to accomplish, to evolve on this earth, to invent something that helped from our existence and contribution of a thing? I mean, it's simple. This person, he did this, or she did this. It's simple. But please, by no means, don't try to take somebody else's shine. That's what's wrong with society today. All this competition, when we are all very much unique in our own way. And like I said, it's hard enough trying to be yourself when so many people try to put so much competition in it. I really don't have time for that, because I am who I say that I am. You either like me or you don't. And nevertheless, hopefully the words that I speak, which comes from truth, some wisdom about a thing in life situations. So I'm going to let everyone go, because now it's like 36 minutes and 43 seconds. So I do appreciate you visiting my channel, listening to my point of view of my truth. Everyone have a pleasant rest of your night, or whenever you check out this video.